Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. It's going to be the round 21 review, and as you can see, we scored a respectable 1,230 points, which ended up, well, we dropped 29 rankings. We're still sitting inside the top 500, 415 overall, and it was one of those weeks. I was looking at the scores. I was either thinking we were going to go up a few spots or down a few spots. It was one of those weeks where there wasn't going to be too much movement either way. Even the top scorer for the week, I think, didn't even crack 1,500. It was like a high 1,400. So that just shows, like, I think anywhere from like 1,150 to 1,250 was a decent score. And then, you know, people going like 1,300 plus had a pretty good week. So we just had an okay week. There were a lot of stinkers. Our trades worked pretty well. One of the trades worked very well, although in saying that, everything sort of nullified each other, and we'll get into that in a second here. But let's go through the team, see how we're shaping up for the run home, and having a look at some of the stinkers. And also, after we go through the team, before I forget, there were quite a few late outs in this week gone. We'll go through as well. So Harry Grant with a whopping 36 points. Grant is just he is hot and cold this year, man. The dummy halves have just they've just fallen off a cliff. I don't know. I don't really know exactly what has changed that much. I mean, I know. Obviously, with just the nonsense that happened the last couple of years with the 6 to goes, they've obviously changed the interpretation a little bit. But that was, I guess, creating really fast play the balls and fatigued defense and whatnot. So dummy halves are really causing some havoc. But I feel like even before that, dummy halves used to be one of the most pivotal positions, but this year it's just so bad. And it's one of the, honestly, I don't want to say it's a mistake. I mean, honestly, probably getting Grant back was potentially a mistake. He just hasn't really gone on with it. He's had a couple of big ones, lit it in, but then plenty of 30s. The Damien Cook pickup really worked well for us when we did it. Although, yeah, just going cheaper in the dummy half this year is probably the way to go. Just spending your money elsewhere is probably the best decision you could have made. It's just been, and even the guys that have gone well, like Marshall King, even Wade Egan, have looked really good at times. They've been in and out constantly. So it's been a tumultuous dummy half positioning this year, and I'm not. We'll talk about Cook in a second, but I'm not too sure what we're gonna do with that. Front row, Joe Tarpany 61. We'll take it. It seemed like I think most of the front rowers scored low this week. Nelson, Asafa Solomona 41. It is what it is. He got hooked a bit early in this game. I think he came up. His defense was a little bit shonky in the opening 20 minutes, and he got taken off inside the 20-minute mark. Thankfully, he came back out, played okay minutes, and he still got 41. I can't be too disappointed. We played him over Tohu Harris, who ended up on 52. So we lost a few points, but I thought the upside for Solomona was where it was at. The thing, I realized this after the round. I was like, man, I really have to put Corey Horsburgh up into front row and bring, Tohu Harris, we've got to bring down to second row, because just running Corey Horsburgh and Tarpany, I think, is ideal, and having Solomona as that third guy that we potentially play, because I've got plenty of decent back row options, but this week, just the way it worked, we had to make sacrifices, I guess, and I realized it after. I'm like, man, I really should shift Horsburgh up there, because I just feel at the moment more comfortable playing Horsburgh over Tohu Harris and Solomona, and as you can see, Cartwright continuing to do good stuff. The back row was pretty underwhelming. Dave Fafita, 57. Britton Nickera, 36. Johnny Bateman, I mean, he got 57, can't complain. Corey Horsburgh, once again, just killing it. And you know what? We'll make that fucking decision right now, because I before I forget, put Horsburgh up to front row, and then Bryce Cartwright with the 73. He was one of the guys I ended up not reserving. It was I mean, we didn't lose too many points not reserving Cartwright, but again, we would have probably played Cartwright over Solomona. I did want to see how Cartwright minutes were going to go, because I felt like maybe this week Davey came on and replaced Cartwright, but obviously Sean Lane dislocated his shoulder, so Davey went out to that edge anyway. Cartwright played the full 80, I'm pretty sure. He looked really good again. Even the Cowboys flogged them, really. I mean, the scoreline flattered the Eels, but the Cowboys were very dominant. Cartwright was outstanding. The offloading was ridiculous from the Eels. They were throwing the offloads just unbelievable. I actually thought Cartwright was going to update to a bit more than 73, because I thought he threw like 6-7 offloads. It was unbelievable, but yeah, Cartwright's just doing the business, and now the fact that Lane is gone again, I just think Cartwright's just a really safe play now. Obviously, I'd be shocked if he loses minutes again. Really, it would be nonsense. Piacora did not play. That was one of the late outs for the round, which is, it's definitely annoying, because the plan initially was hoping Piacora scores another decent amount, goes up a good amount of cash, and then probably nuff him out this week. It wasn't set in stone. Like, we had other options to potentially nuff out, and probably some better options anyway to nuff out than Piacora, but now his price generation is down by a week, which is fine. At the end of the day, maybe we do just keep Piacora for the long term. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Our halves, so Nathan Cleary, we did end up going the captaincy on, obviously. It was, so I didn't actually watch any of this game. I was out. I was looking at the scores though, and fuck, man. So Penrith were up, I think it was 28-0. And Cleary, it was like 30 minutes into the game, Cleary was on like 40 points. And looking at the stats, he had he had 1 try assist, 1 tackle, no run meters, nothing like that. He obviously had a line break assist and a try assist, and he had like, I think, 4 goals at the time. But I was like, how the hell in 30 minutes he made 1 tackle? I was like, what the fuck is happening? But he was still on 40 points. But the problem, it was just, like I said, I didn't watch the game, but it was obviously just, getting the ball to the outside and the outside men doing all the business, because, yeah, scoring, a team being up like 30 points to zip, or 28 zip, whatever it was, and Cleary only having the 1 try assist and no real attacking stats other than that, the goal kicks, it was like, oh man, it's very rare that a team goes on and gets like 80-0, 70-80. It's usually, and the Dogs, they did fight back, and obviously Penrith didn't really score many points in the second half. So yeah, Cleary, he could have gone massive, but it was an 81-point affair. Nico Hines got 86. He got pretty much 80 of those points in the last 10 minutes. He got 2 try assists, and the Sharks were shocking, but they almost won. They did almost pull it out, and they probably should have if Will Kennedy just fucking passed it. I don't know why he didn't, but Nico Hines, the unicorn himself, they're not unicorn points, but they are junk, that's for sure. Kalen Ponga, again, 96 points. He is just on an absolute tear. Cody Walker, 55. Against the Broncos and the Rabbitohs are pretty shocking. You'll take 55 points for Cody Walker. Now the draw for the Rabbits gets pretty juicy, I will say. Centre wing. So Val Holmes, 50 points. which again, you'll take that, considering he did get a bullshit sin binning, and he didn't have any, I don't think he had any attacking stats really. He somehow still got 50 points. Obviously, he kicked goals, but it's just really solid with a sin bin. Joey Manu, 78 points. Alex Johnston got 82. I think he had like 4 line breaks and obviously a try to boot. Ronaldo Mulatalo, 54, bro downgraded. How the fuck did he get 54? He had Mulatalo. Oh my god. He had a try, and like not off a kick too. So he had a line break and a try there. He also had a try assist, right? Or did they take the try assist off him? Surely not. He put that beautiful kick back on the inside to Will Kennedy. Surely he didn't. But my man just, I don't know what's happened to Mulatalo. Like he used to be like not one of the, like he wasn't a Brian Toto, like 20 carries a game and stuff. But he was pretty solid. Like he's a really good ball carrier from their own end, but he's just not getting involved at all. So, I mean, you'll take 54, but it is what it is. Talakai didn't play, so that was another late out, which actually worked in my favor because he was probably tipped to lose a lot of money unless he started. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the Sharks do because, let's be real, Connor Tracy and Braden Trindle did not really do too much to that defensive line. I love Connor Tracy. I do think he's far too good to be playing reserve grade, but he came up with some really terrible defensive reads, and I'm like, I mean, if they're going to drop Talakai for some poor defensive efforts, like, that was pretty shocking. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the team going forward because that did not improve at all. Jared Croker with a whopping 30 points. He's just, I mean, Croker, it's fine. Like, he hasn't really lost much money, like me having to hold him. I think, I do want to, maybe we nuff Croker out potentially this week instead. I don't hate that because, yeah, he's starting to, I think, he started really well. His scores are pretty steady, pretty consistent, but he's just sort of, he's fallen off a little bit, Croker. I think, I don't know, maybe the long season's getting to him a bit because he hadn't played much footy previously before this year. Like, he wasn't really playing first grade. So, yeah, I think he's struggling a little bit, I think. Tyra Munro obviously didn't play. And then James Tedesco, our other trade-in that we brought in for Gutherson. Gutherson, I think, scored 100, or maybe even a bit more. He had a pretty good game. But Tedesco, 134, cannot be disappointed there. We did have the vice captaincy on him, but I wasn't going to loop just because I thought, I mean, we would have copped, I guess, Croker's 30, which wouldn't have been the worst. So we probably would have got a little bit better off if we looped, but not by a lot. I probably would have dropped Mulatalo. So yeah, we would have been a little bit better off, but I was pretty confident Cleary would at least get 80, which he did, but I was hoping for a big one. And then Ruben Garrick with a 69 pointer, which is pretty good considering the Eagles were pretty good. They definitely faded in the second half, but Garrick looked pretty solid as always. So yeah, a steady week. I mean, the team is stacked. Like, the team is pretty stacked. I mean, the center wing is probably the only real issue. Maybe the front row as well, but I think honestly with Big Red and Tarpany, I'm pretty happy with that. Like, again, a Payne Haas, but we'll have a look because I mean, like I said, so I was going to talk about the players omitted. So the other big one was Latrell Mitchell, which Latrell not playing. I mean, as a Broncos fan, I was pretty happy to see Latrell Mitchell was ruled out because I was very concerned. But for Supercoach reasons, it wasn't great because now he's had no match fitness. He's still tipped to lose a lot of cash. So if you're going to bring him in, you got to bring him in knowing he's at his peak probably. But that's the thing. The Rabbitohs have such a good draw now that if you're going to get Mitchell, you get him this week or you don't get him at all. And that's the that's the decision. That's the tough decision going forward. But I think I'm definitely going to do it. Probably. I think so. But let's have a quick look. So yeah, Johnson got 74, and that's what I was talking about with like all the decisions. So the big decision for the week, right, was do you keep Cleary, do you keep Hines and Johnson and not go Cleary? Do you keep Johnson, trade out Hines, get Cleary? And they all scored pretty similar. So I mean, I guess at the end of the day, trading Hines to Cleary probably would have been the best financially. But Johnson, it was a good matchup for them. So only going 74 is like, it's okay. They do have the bye this week, so they miss a game. Cleary and Hines now verse each other this week, which is interesting. We'll see. I don't know if both of them can go well. I think Cleary will go well. Hines, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. So I don't know. Maybe keeping Johnson was the better idea, but at the end of the day, we made the decision to do it. Fucking Scotty Drinkwater, 122. Oh my god, he's a million. Oh my word, my man's just on fire. Gutherson, fucking 115. So he only dropped 1,000. But again, I'm happy with the Tedesco pickup. Like, the Eels have a bye coming up anyway. They got a pretty tough draw, and yeah, I think overall for the price, like we made like 250k off the trade, and I think Tedesco can easily score as many as Gutherson. I mean, even Gutherson going 115, Tedesco did still outscore him this week. So yeah, I'm still happy with the trade. Jermaine Hopgood. So for Noah Blake, only 61. Who else is popular? So Will Kennedy fucking finished on 111, dude. He was like a Nico Hines. Like, he was on absolute shit all. And then the final, I guess, 10 minutes, he got into the game. Payne Haas, 62. So that's what I'm talking about. All the front rowers pretty much did jack shit. Chansey, thankfully, only 69 points. He scored that early try, and I thought, oh no, here we go. He's going to get another ton, go up in price. But thankfully, only 69 points. And I do think it's nice now the Warriors have a bye, because next week, Chans is definitely coming into the team. Moses got a 72. Again, he was dude, all these players getting bundled out. The Eels was so shit. And then all of a sudden, Moses scores like 2 tries at the back end and gets a nice little boost. So everyone just got bailed out. Reece Walsh came back with a bang. I mean, how good is Reece Walsh? He is so fucking good, dude. Oh, man. Nick Meaney, popular, only 53 points. Greg Marju, 79. Again, this was a game he could have got anything, dude. Like, Marju, I don't think I'm going to be able to own Marju this year, which is going to be a real sore point, because he just can't stop scoring, and his tackle busting he just general play line breaking. He just breaks a line like a random tackle or random hit up and just kills it. Cherry Evans, 109 points. So yeah, there's definitely some decent scores, but yeah, a lot of the popular guys. I mean, Cameron Munster, popular, he got 97, so it's a good little boost for people that own him. But yeah, that's that. That is that. So going back to the team. So again, we got 5 trades. We got 150k in the bank. Now this week, I was looking at 2 trades. There was probably enough to just get that little boost of cash, a little, just enough cash to sit comfortably, and then Latrell Mitchell was going to be the guy we wanted to bring in. Now, some decisions to make. So again, well, I guess when we bring in Latrell Mitchell, Ruben Garrick's going to go back to centre wing. So our centre wing is still stacked. Like, Holmes, Manu, Garrick are genuine keepers and playable every week. Then Johnston, with his run coming up, is definitely keeper. Ty Munro, if he comes back in, potentially playable against the teams. Mulatalo, maybe. And then Croker and Talakai both potentially, we could nuff one of them and then trade the other to Latrell Mitchell, because Latrell's like 800k. So we definitely make enough there. But then we do want to bring in Chansey the week after. Who are we going to trade out for that, though? Ooh. I actually don't know. You know what? And this is what I was talking about. So Pierre Cora, we're not going to nuff him out. There's just no point. And, he's still going to make cash. He could score some decent points in the coming weeks. We could nuff out Cook. We nuff out Cook. That's like 400k almost. It would pretty much allow us to do everything we need to do with the team. And I mean, I know I just said the Rabbitohs have a really good draw coming up, so maybe Cook does go on a bit of a roll, but I think the Rabbitohs are just a different team the last couple of years. They're not so much through the middle and, Cameron Murray and Cook just absolutely killing it. They just target teams out wide so well. And with Mitchell coming back into the fray, it's just going to be the wingers, centers, and back rowers that just benefit. They got the West Tigers, Sharks, Dragons, Newcastle, Roosters. It's a damn good draw. But I don't know. I'd still be worried to play Cook. Cook got a bloody try assist. He got a try assist in this. He only played 71 minutes as well, surprisingly. Yeah, he got a try assist with the line break assist and got 59 points. So he's just not doing it. And at the end of the day, if something happens to Grant, we should theoretically have one or two trades up our sleeve for that situation. We could trade Grant to somebody. So I think that's what we look at doing. Again, it'll be team list dependent. I think Mitchell is pretty much guaranteed to come back this week. But other than that, I don't see, because so we go Cook down to enough, and then so we'll have like 550, a bit under 550k in the bank. We go Talakai. Well, depending on team list again, maybe we just go Croker. I'm just thinking. Yeah, that should work. So Croker to Mitchell is, a bit under 400k. We'll have plenty of cash to do that. Then if we go Talakai up to Chans next week, I think Chans, what was he? Hopefully not. Wasn't he? Yeah, he's only 690. So we only need to find 60k unless Talakai is named on the bench this week again. So we got to be a little careful. If that happens, then we could just trade Talakai to Mitchell and then hope Croker doesn't lose too much cash this week, because who have the Raiders got? They've got Newcastle. So even that, Croker could be a pretty good play in that game. Well, Newcastle have been pretty good, so maybe not. So yeah, I think that's what we do. I do genuinely think we just nuff out Cook now. Obviously, he dipped a little what did he lose? Well, he did lose 40k. He lost 40k this week, which is a bit annoying, but I just think, the dummy halves just aren't doing the business, and I sort of like nuffing him out, because then I don't have to decide, do I play Cook in the good matchups or not? I'm just like, nah, I just don't have him. I just decide for my other boys here. So yeah, I think that's what we do. I think that's what we're gonna do. But again, we'll wait till team list and then have a better look at the what's it called? Who to nuff out and who to trade. Because again, looking forward to Tedesco and Mitchell, I think that's pretty damn good fullback options. Going early on Mitchell, I could see the merit in waiting, but if you're going to wait, you're probably just not going to get him, right? But does he come back fired up? Like, sure, I don't, like, the injury was meant to be, he was almost good to go for Origin, and then it was like a day by day, apparently, and now it's turned into a week, like, months. It's been so long since he's played. Like, there is obviously a bit of concern there for Mitchell. I mean, they're obviously not rushing him back, that's for sure. You would expect him to be fully fit, but there's there's definitely a little bit of concern. But I don't know. I just think getting him in early, it didn't work that well with Cleary, but I think Mitchell, again, he could make. I don't think it's gonna break your season, but if you go early on him, it could make your season. Because look at, dude, 26% of teams own Cleary. It's not that high. Just didn't quite do the business. But Mitchell, again, he could go like 150 his first game back when people don't get on him and really be a. I mean, he's probably a good vice captaincy this week, I would say. Yeah, I would definitely vice captain him. But yeah, I think, I don't know. I think played a bit risky. Like I said, we're sitting fairly well. We still got a few trades. Like, if something bad happens, we do have a couple of trades in the kitty to go up. So when we do the trades, so Nuffield Cook, we'll have 4 trades left, and then from that, we're going to be bringing in Mitchell and then Chance the week after. So we'll be down to 2 trades. We'll be down to 2 trades with a few rounds remaining. And I think we just sit on those 2 trades, I guess, until... Yeah, you probably do, and obviously unless something happens, like fucking Cleary is injured or something like that, but you just sit on the 2 trades until the final round, and then if there's any restings, then you got 2 trades up your sleeve to potentially gain a little bit of ground in that final round. So I think that's the plan. If it works out, if it doesn't, we'll see. But at the moment, I think that seems pretty okay. There's no one really else. I mean, again, let's have a look at each position. I mean, let's just look at hookers for a second, because fuck me. Oh my god, is this the worst week of hookers scoring of all time? Grant 36, Cook 59. Anomaly. Fucking Reed Marnie came off the bench and played like, I don't know what the hell he was playing. He scored 20. Reece Robson 41. I mean, he's playing 80 minutes, Robson, still, right? Yeah, he's been playing 80. I don't understand. The dummy halves are just not doing much of anything this year. Blake Brayley 36 points. Wade Egan with a 62. I mean, pretty good. Tanner Boyd 6. Lachlan Croker killed it. No Cody Nikorima or Marshall King. They had the bye. So, I mean, fucking Nikorima's been the best dummy half all year, I guess. Jacob Little. Fucking Chris Randall, 96, playing prop. Brandon Smith finally got a score, 81. But holy shit, yeah, I don't know. Is there any, like... I don't think I would want a cheapie that's playing, but... Is there anybody? Sonny Luke? Can you imagine fucking... I saw Kenny... It looked like Kenny was injured, and I was just thinking to myself, can you imagine if Kenny, like, gets an injury and Sonny Luke becomes, like, the number 1 dummy half at Penrith? I'd be, like, fucking all over it, dude. I would trade Cook down to Sonny Luke, and all these people that have had Luke for so long, just killing them. I mean, they'd be happy because he finally gets some minutes, but then everyone else could jump on who didn't have him. But it doesn't look like that's happened anyway. It seemed like he was fine, I think. Tom Starling, 54. Yeah, you're getting a little bit expensive now. I mean, fucking Kenny. He's playing big minutes, but yeah, dummy half's just absolute shitter at the moment. Front row, I mean, again, I just have no real desire to spend up in the front row. No Tino. You're not going to bring him in. Payne Haas looks so good. Like, his score always confuses me. Because how many minutes did he play? He still played 61 minutes. It looked like he was busting tackles and doing all sorts, but the scores, unless he gets like a try assist or a line break, he doesn't really score that well. So, I mean, he's 670k. Like, he's pretty damn affordable. But again, it's such a luxury trade. Granted, I would love to trade Solomona to a Payne Haas, but it's just not. Yeah, it's not worth one of the trades I've got planned. Adam Fennell-Blake, I mean, if he keeps scoring tries, I mean, you know, congrats to the people that have him. And then you go down, I mean, fucking Barnett is now up there. Fodawaker is doing some good stuff. Yeah, not much else. Not much else at all, really. I've got Tarpany and Horsburgh. I got Harris and Solomona. Payne Haas is probably the only guy I would consider, but yeah, again, it's a luxury trade I don't really have. Second row forwards. I should go total points. So Hopgood, obviously we're not going to go back to Hopgood. I mean, with Sean Lane getting injured now, Campbell Gillard out, like, Hopgood's probably going to play bigger minutes again, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, I think we've done a pretty good job with Hopgood. Like, we traded him out after his initial price rises and points. We got him back in for the buys. He did a great job, and then we traded him out with plenty of cash. So I can't be too disappointed. Scotty Sorensen has been fucking killing it in the back row for Penrith. Ola Kawatu finally had a decent game. Paddy Carrigan played in the back row this game. I mean, he wouldn't be bad to have, but I don't know. Again, I think my back row is pretty stacked. There's no one really else that's knocking down the door. I mean, fucking Lachlan Fitzgibbon, man. If I just started with... I was going to start with Fitzgibbon. You can go back to my first video. I was going to start with Fitzgibbon, the absolute super pod, over Egan Butcher, but people talked me out of it. And he's been bloody good. He had a couple of shockers. Well, he had a month of shockers here. Fuck me. The minutes were down and he just scored badly. But other than that, he's been scoring tries. Kalen Pong has just been dishing it up beautifully. But so Cameron Murray back to 76. I mean, again, yeah, Murray would be nice, but I just don't have the trade. I don't have the trade, and I don't think 76 is good, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not that concerned, honestly. Kalamatangi, very popular, 40 points, just not really doing much. Then we'll go. I mean, halfbacks, 5'8", they're fine. Centre wing is obviously an important position. So Azarko, I mean, Azarko was under 600k. Like, I guess instead of going CNK, you could go Azarko, but from reports, it seems like Valens Tavade is going back to the centres. Tessa News on the wing, and Fido is playing fullback again with Nikorima in the halves. With Azarko outside of Tavade, he just sees Tavade can't pass, so his scores have been still pretty good, but I mean 66, 66, 50, 56, and 35 against Penrith, which is understandable. They got a good run. Like, they got the Dogs, Newcastle, Roosters, Tigers, Cowboys, a couple of tough games at the end, but those four there, pretty damn good. I just think CNK is just a bit more important than Azarko, because again, it could change, but as long as Tavade is inside of him, it's not. Branko Lee is just such a great draw and passer. Tavade is not. So, yeah, he's at a good price, and they do have a good draw, but don't think I'm going to do that. Campbell Graham, 67. CNK, like I said, I think is the most... I think he's almost a must-have, honestly. Herbie, Penasini, Greggy. I mean, fuck me, Greg. God damn, Greg Marju, man. He just can't stop hurting me. He just can't stop. Who have they got? They got Canberra, Dolphins, Bulldogs, Rabbits, Sharks, Dragons. It's a pretty good run for them as well. I would love Marju, but it doesn't make sense to go Marju over CNK, right? He's quite a bit cheaper, and I do think CNK can score as well as Marju, but man, he's just looking so dominant. I mean, Bradman Best would have been a super pod a few weeks ago, but nah, he's too expensive now. Even Dane Gagai has been sensational this year. Zach Lomax. Zach Lomax doing what he always does. Like, no one ever gets Lomax, but by the end of the year, he always averages around 65 to 70. Then we got... So Brian Toto. I really wanted to get Toto in. He was like another guy I was very keen on, but again, just the trades didn't line up and it's too far gone now. Jesse Ramian, Cobbo. So the big one, I mean, Jacob Kira has a couple of good scores back to back. God, against Penrith too. Got 69 points against Penrith. They've got Dolphins, Newcastle, Raiders, Manly, Gold Coast. Whew. They got a bye in round 23, which is a bit awkward, but man, I would love to do it, but I just don't think Kiraz is going to hurt you playing in centers. Like, he's very undervalued for what he's dishing up, but I don't see it's good though. If you got a couple of trades up your sleeve, I would definitely jump on Kiraz. Dallin, Watani's Lesniak. The big one as well, Isaac Tungo was ruled out, so a lot of people would have jumped on Tungo this week gone. And I think he potentially is out for this week as well, maybe. So that's a real kick in the guts for people that jumped on because he was looking good, but it is what it is. But yeah, I think... I don't know. I think overall, like I'm pretty stoked with the team. Like I said, Nuffier, Cook, get in Mitchell, get in CNK. I mean, if we didn't go Mitchell, we could do a lot. Like I just don't think you can pass up the draw. I don't think you can pass up the potential of Latrell Mitchell against those teams. You know. Let's go to Latrell. But if we didn't go Latrell, man, I could bring in... I mean, I could go Azarko this week instead. But I guess, what's the point? What's the point? Like, I guess what's the point? Because I'm not going to have extra trades if I don't trade Latrell. I'm still gonna want to have 2 trades up my sleeve for like the final 2 rounds. I mean, I guess if we didn't go Latrell and went Zarko, we wouldn't have to nuff out Cook, but I don't know. I'm sort of keen to do that anyway. So yeah, it's probably like, it's not worth it not to do it, if you get what I'm saying, because the money is irrelevant at that point, because we'll have 2 trades after the trades we make, and it's like, well, I want to save them anyway. It would be nice, like, yeah, if you take the money into consideration, yeah, you could go like a Kiraz, a Zarko, and CNK instead of Latrell. Obviously, you need a little bit more cash, but we don't have the trades anyway, so it's no real point. So yeah, that 100k. This is a worry though. He was a bit of a slow starter. I mean, it was, I guess, a tough run. I mean, Sharks are obviously tipped. At the start of the year, the Sharks are tipped pretty well. Penrith, Roosters also were tipped to be one of the top teams. Manly, Melbourne. And then he comes into a good run. Bulldogs, Dolphins. Even fucking against Penrith, he got 100. Broncos, 96. And then he hit a bit of a wall. 55, 91 against the Tigers, who he's playing now. And then the Eels. But he's got Tigers, Sharks, Dragons. I don't know. It's a tough one. I just worry about Latrell because you know he's not the fittest guy just in general. And coming off an injury, a calf injury, has he been doing his, is he going to be good? I don't know. I'm nervous, man. I don't know. Do you even do it? We'll see. We'll see. Is going as Zarko the better option? Or do we try to look for a pod? Maybe. But Latrell is a pod. That's the thing. Latrell's going to be a decent pod. But we'll wait for team list. Not much else to do right now. Like I said, the team is looking pretty good. The short-term trades, I think, are looking pretty solid. We just got to decide what we're going to do. But other than that, hopefully you guys are enjoying. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.